मेरो नाम Jordan ho, Nepal. धेरै राम्रो छ. Everest was in China. I'm a dropout student.
Okay.
I mean, but like Zuckerberg and many people, Nepalese people as one of the most kindest people on earth.
You can sing our national anthem too.
Soya tunga kami yote mala Nepali.
What is a thing comes in your mind when I say Nepal? In a very short word thing. Namaste everyone, this is Hari again. आज हामीले भने जस्तो फेरि अर्को नयाँ एपिसोड लिएर यहाँहरुको माझ आइसकेका छौं र हामीले पहिलेदेखि भन्दै गरेको र गर्दै गरेको उसमा फरक व्यक्तित्व फरक धारको मान्छेलाई ल्याउने क्रममा आज हामीसँग एकदमै डिफरेन्ट एकदमै फरक किसिमको र एकदमै इन्ट्रेस्टिङ मान्छे हुनुहुन्छ हामीसँग उहाँलाई छिटो भन्दा छिटो बेर नगरिकन म तपाईहरुको माझ ल्याउँछु. So Jordan, welcome to the show.
Namaste, dhanyavad.
Namaste, dhanyavad. Okay, I didn't give your introduction in the camera. I want you to do it by yourself. Who is Jordan?
मेरो नाम Jordan हो. मेरो नाम नेपाली नाम पृथ्वी.
पृथ्वी, okay.
हजुर. यो लाग्यो नेपाल. धेरै राम्रो छ. धेरै राम्रो छ.
Thank you.
And the people of Nepal are very awesome. We can start maybe by this is good. Introducing myself. I'm a Canadian, born Canadian of North Bay. I've traveled quite a lot in my life, in my early life as well. I started at 18, traveling the world and a lot of Spanish-speaking countries.
Okay.
Because I thought it'd be suitable since I was French.
Okay.
Because there's a little bit of a easier path in that sense, because some words are somewhat similar, which I've noticed with Hindi and Nepali as I went to Nepal. But as I was traveling, I was introduced by a Nepali citizen who has traveled to Canada here in North Bay to make a better life by the name of Lashmi.
Okay.
And Lashmi was very kind to me, always provided me with work, and I honored her by doing my best.
Okay.
And eventually she came to me to ask if I knew anything about Nepal.
Okay.
As in my younger self, as you can say, maybe my indoctrinated self, thought Everest was in China.
Okay.
But I soon found out that it was in Nepal, and I started doing research of Nepal. And she also told me if I ever plan to go to Nepal, contact her and she will give me some good people to reach.
Okay.
So I trusted her, and I didn't trust the news saying that things were scary to travel. And I made way to Nepal, and I got to meet plenty of her amazing friends.
Okay.
And one of her friends I met went by the name of Sangeeta.
Sangeeta, okay.
She still runs a organization called EPSA.
EPSA. It's in Nepal.
Yes, and this is in Nepal, in Kathmandu. She had at the time a very little piece of property in Kathmandu.
Okay.
And at the time she was housing around 10 to 15 women, and providing them work in felted wool knitting.
Okay.
So she was providing them a skill set, but not only was it difficult for them as women to maintain a job, but it was also difficult because they were disabled.
Okay.
They were very.
When was that? Like exactly.
This was back in 2017.
2017.
Yeah,
okay.
like 2016, 2017, because I went around.
That was the first time you've been to Nepal.
Yeah,
okay.
I went there during around Christmas time.
Okay.
And during that moment, I realized that it was not the place that makes a place amazing, because as we can all tell, Kathmandu is a very busy and like Toronto, it's very, very busy. It can be hectic, and your mind can get distracted and maybe told different things. But I was very in tune with people because I find connection is a very important thing. I like seeing smiles on their faces. But what puzzled me the most was, from my own country, we're so very keen to ourselves. We keep to ourselves, and I think that can help hold us back. But in Nepal, it didn't hold no one back. They were very welcoming, especially to their home. For the state that they were in, I thought it would be as similar.
Okay.
But it was very opposite. So I've grown very attached to the people of Nepal. And by doing that, I was able to learn many things about Nepal
Mhm.
because I was very attentive, but I was also very attentive to the language,
Uh-huh.
knowing that I was Duolingo.
Uh-huh.
I knew French and English,
Uh-huh.
but I was learning a little bit of Spanish at the time. But then I was very intrigued with Nepalese
Uh-huh.
because if they're going to say it's dangerous, then I want to have maybe some sort of defense mechanism and understanding what they're talking about.
Uh-huh.
But also maybe it'll provide me opportunities, like
Sure.
more people will be accepting.
It is.
And
And how do you find it? Is it a difficult language, Nepali, to learn, or?
at the time, yes, very difficult, and it can maybe like give people a sort of shyness to it.
Okay.
But for me, I just kept perceiving. I kept trying and trying and trying, and it made it very easy. The fact that when I got there, I started off with a family
Okay.
that was pretty giving, and they provided me with volunteer work in exchange for a place to stay.
Okay.
So I was able immediately to not worry about costs
Uh-huh.
by just helping them.
Okay.
And by doing that, I was able to understand more Nepalese, and I found it very important because they had me volunteer teaching English.
Okay.
So
So I will stop you here and
Yeah.
let's talk about the travel to Nepal you did in 2016, 17.
us,
So
started.
why did you go to Nepal? It was just a visit, or do you wanted to do something in there?
I was going there because I was just finishing business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a dropout student.
Okay.
I mean, but like Zuckerberg and many people,
Uh-huh.
they drop out and they still become successful. So I didn't let that, pertain to anything.
Uh-huh.
I continued my endeavors
Mhm.
and I said, well, I'm going to start a business,
Mhm.
but it's not going to be geared towards making money because I already know I could make money by working.
Okay.
And I was a very hardworking person. So I knew even if I lost my job, I could still try my best to find another one.
Okay.
And kept doing that over and over and over.
Mhm.
A lot of the time I would leave the country knowing coming back, I should probably leave a little bit of extra in
Mhm.
case the job does not take me back.
Okay.
But because they knew I was hardworking, they took me back anyway. And then with that development, I ended up continuing my business endeavors,
Mhm.
but I made it not just business. I made it solely business, but every amount of funds I received
Mm-hmm.
from product that was created with these women with disabilities
Mhm.
was put into stores, but not stores because
Mhm.
people's attention would be diverted into other product.
Okay.
I brought them into restaurants and I'd
Okay.
put them at the front where they would pay. So it'd grab their attention and sometimes they would have time to look at it.
Okay.
So I decided I would have it there at the front so they would grab their attention.
Okay.
And I gained a lot of attention, people asking about it. And when I did that, I grew into about 3 businesses,
Mhm.
which was pretty small at the time.
Mhm.
But now it's growing very quickly.
Mhm.
And I hope others can and be inspired from this and do more with that as well.
Mhm.
Because you can't just give up by your first steps. It's like taking baby steps. You're going to continue to keep doing good. You just have to make sure you know that and give that to yourself within. And then I made it solely business. What I would do is, so let me explain the dynamic and the structure of my business.
Mhm.
With them creating the product, I thought it was also very important they were being treated well.
Mhm.
And I was very trusting in Sangeeta. And she actually does very well. And she's very giving. And she always has been. And I've watched this through my times of going to Nepal.
Mhm.
And I really enjoyed seeing the happy faces there. And it would always be the same people, if not also more people that would come in that I'd see. And I really liked seeing that. And I kept the support. And I always told her, whatever price you think is reasonable for yourself as a business,
Mhm.
but also reasonable for them, so you guys can, create a comfortable life. You can go ahead and charge me that
Mhm.
for whatever amount you need for the product I need. So I started with about 300 bracelets. I wish I took them up with me right now, but
Mhm.
it's totally available on my website,
Mhm.
which I guess we'll plug in later.
Mhm.
But you can see the product of the steps I took. And I started with a bracelet.
Mhm.
And with that bracelet, I had people using it not just to put on their wrist, but they were using it on their bags. They were using it on their motorcycle bikes. They were using it to hang up on their mirrors.
Mhm.
Many things they could have done with it and that they were using it with. And even to this day, some people still say they have it
Okay.
on there. And it's something they remember and of a good deed that they did for this world and something maybe inspiring them to continue being good in this life.
And what exactly the purpose of doing that?
So the purpose of it, when I came up with the innovation, I made a world on it, but it wasn't like our world. It was just a creative sense of a different world because I wanted to create a new world of opportunities.
Mhm.
And it said on it, love Nepal,
Mhm.
because I wanted people to support and love Nepal as much as I did when I first went. I wanted to give that same vibe.
Okay.
And after that bracelet, I then moved on to another form of something that would be more carryable.
Mm-hmm.
And I started developing keychains.
Okay.
But with the keychains, I ended up wanting to make it even more special by designing them like a cartoon,
Mm-hmm.
but to replicate the children I'm helping. Because not only would I help women with disabilities
Mm-hmm.
that would make the product and then sell it here in my own country,
Mm-hmm.
not to the people of Nepal,
Mm-hmm.
because there's laws in place for that. I
Uh-huh.
wanted to respect that. But also, I didn't want to take money from that culture that was already so giving.
Okay.
I wanted to inspire people here in Canada to also give back,
Okay.
because we already have many means of in our economy at the time to be able to produce that help.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up grabbing all the rest of the portion, 100% of it. And even some years when things were difficult, I was even bleeding from my own income to then continue to help them,
Okay.
because I made promises. I didn't want to break them.
Okay.
So I continued to make these promises and make it happen. But a lot of the time, it helped when people were helping to pick up the rest. So it went from helping 3 children a year, paying for their education,
Mm-hmm.
to now about 5 or 6. And it's actually looking like this year it's going to be more than just 5 or 6. It might even be 10 or more, plus 10, right?
Okay.
So it's growing, and I'm enjoying this, and I'm liking the smiles,
Uh-huh.
and I'm actually very not surprised. I kind of seen it coming,
Uh-huh.
but I'm very happy to see from the first kid I helped in Dulakil, his name's Bibit. And the first keychain I was meant to look like him.
Okay.
And he had his red uniform coat
Uh-huh.
for school that I would always go to and volunteer teach at, so I can observe him,
Mm-hmm.
make sure he's being treated right, as well as the environment, so then in future times I could bring other children in to that school.
Okay.
But I seen this school to be a very good spot because they were very keen on, focused on making sure his language was developed.
Okay.
And because when he was very young, he didn't know, even his family were very like not knowing of English.
Okay.
But they've picked up even quite a bit of English themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But even Bibik himself has become a translator for his family at this point, because now he's gone from 8 years old in 2016, 2017
Mm-hmm.
to now being 17, going on 18.
Okay.
So there's quite the development, and he's actually very good at his English, and I'm very proud of him.
Okay.
And I'm almost getting teary about it because it's come to this point where like it's not just hope, it's not just whatever, it's something that is now life, you know?
Oh yeah.
It's like I'm proud of him. I'm very proud of him, and it's now grown into not just him,
Mm-hmm.
but he became an example, not myself, not the company, but together. Like he has become a superpower himself to then bring that forward to others, and he's doing a great job. I've already, many times when I went there, I brought him to meet a congresswoman by the name of Kantika Sejwal,
Mm-hmm.
who is also doing a lot of charity work in Nepal herself.
Okay.
So I'm very linked to some people that do great work, and we're just growing as time goes, step by step, kind of like with you right now.
Uh-huh.
I'm very appreciative, and I like this opportunity because you already have a big Nepali base, and I have many friends Nepali here in my hometown,
Uh-huh.
as well now in Toronto,
Okay.
but also in Sudbury, as well as many
Yeah,
places
everywhere,
but also
nowadays,
in
yeah.
Nepal. Like I've been to many places like Gorkha, Japa, Kathmandu, Dulakil,
Mm-hmm.
Jumla. Like, so Jumla is one place I say I've been close to. I haven't quite gone there, but I'm working on getting there, and I have Kushal and Kantika Sejwal that are going to make that happen this year.
Okay.
But I've supported 3 children myself there at one time in 1 year for their education.
Okay. So, but you haven't been there.
Jumla, no.
Okay.
But I'm trying to remember the name exactly. It'll come to me,
Okay.
but it'll also be posted on my website. But
Okay.
there's also an inspiration I ran into there. She does something similar, but on a grander scale. She houses about 300 and gives schooling to about 300 kids
Wow.
in Nepal.
So now this is basically your introduction, what you do, what you are doing in
Mhm.
Nepal. Now I will take you to a different part of Nepal, the personal life, how you enjoy it and everything. Let's talk a little bit and we'll come to the topic again.
Perfect.
So you went to Nepal in 2016 for the first time, 2016 or 17. You went there as a tourist, or were you already prepared to go to the villages and help people, or you went there just to see the views and enjoy the views?
Of
What
course,
was that?
part of my traveling, I met awesome people.
Mhm.
So the focus was to develop a connection,
Okay.
That's what happened at first. I was developing a connection and got to really know Nepalese people as one of the most kindest people on earth, which then brought me to continue going back to Nepal. But also, it is very beautiful. Like I said, Deri Ramarosha. I love it so much. Maya Garachu. Mutu. I really feel for Nepal and its beauty as well as the beauty of the people.
Okay.
So
saying that you are more connected with the people than the beauty of nature.
Yes.
Of course, it is beautiful, but you prefer people.
It's just
more.
a bonus, like a double whammy, if you would say.
Okay. So when you were planning to go to Nepal, what did you know about Nepal? If you had to explain Nepal before you go to Nepal,
I heard of it as to be one of the most peaceful, but also one of the most highest places in the world.
So that's what you knew before you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So you researched.
Yeah, and I was very in love with mountains. Like me myself, before that, I went to Vancouver to the Rocky Mountains, and I went to Machu Picchu as well. Okay. So I've been a lot to the 7 wonders of the world. Okay. Not all of them, but some of them. Okay. And I wanted to also go into the Himalayas as one of the other wonders of the world, which brought me to Annapurna later on. Okay.
So the weird question now. Before you meet Lakshmi, your friend in North Bay, did you know about Nepal?
Absolutely not.
Zero. So you have never heard about Nepal before that?
No.
Okay. So thanks to Lakshmi, what she introduced you to Nepal, and now you're helping everybody there. So this is the message to every Nepali who are residing all over the world. One small effort can change it to a bigger one.
Absolutely. Like any small.
Yeah. So thank you for doing what you are doing right now. And I would like to talk to you about the time you spent in Nepal. So do you remember the first day you land in Kathmandu?
Yeah, actually. So the first time I was landing in Nepal, it was Kathmandu, and I was overlooking the city. And I just thought to myself, wow, this is like the biggest ant city in the world. You know, like in the valleys and everything. I just saw it all, right? And I saw the majestic, beautiful clouds. It was very magical entering into Kathmandu, even though how chaotic it can be. But even the chaos, I didn't look at it as chaos. I looked at it as something amazing in a sense. And because like, especially when you're going into the airport, Trovion airport, it can be very busing busy, especially getting in, like, you know how it is, like when you're getting in.
Let's talk it open. Share your experience as it is, how it was. What is the first thing you remember coming out of the terminal?
Well, the difference would be in our culture or in any other, I guess, modern place, you could say, when you get out of a plane, you kind of enter just right in the airport. But in Nepal's state, you would just get out of the plane through the stairs and you'd be out in the open. So I felt the warmth, I felt the comfort, I felt the heat. Some people may hate the heat, but I traveled many countries that were very hot and been to many deserts, especially Huacachina in Peru. So I was very accustomed to it and I didn't hate it at all. I was like, wow, okay, perfect, my environment. And I continued on, and all I seen from there was smiles, handshake, like shakes like this, like, you know, like, so then when I got back home, it was like, I was doing this all the time myself. I was like, I fell into a Nepali culture all of a sudden. And I felt a little bit crazy at home, just, you know, nodding to everyone. Cause in our culture, it's like, you do that to somebody and they kind of look at you like, why are you nodding at me? You know, but I try to make it more of a normal thing now. Okay.
Yeah. And you stayed a few days in Kathmandu.
Yep.
Did you do any treks or any?
More than a few days, but.
How many days you stayed at that time?
So my first time, I was like, I'm going to go for a big shot. You know, it costs a lot of money to get here. I was like, I'll stay 3 months. So my first time I went, I stayed for 3 months. I taught volunteer teaching for English for 2 months.
So you started right away the volunteering?
Yeah, I got introduced. The family picked me up. That was through a connection of a business mogul that is in the garment industry. And his name is Kiran. And he was giving me some business pointers the first time I went. As well, he was showing me a lot of his businesses. So he's very helpful. And he introduced me to a kind-hearted family that then took me into their home. They were a family well off, pretty good. And they gave me my own privacy, my own room. So I was blessed in that way. But also, I didn't want to just hang around there. I wanted to explore the rest of Nepal, but I was still wanting to respect and do what also they're providing me a place. So I was providing them also in exchange some help.
Yeah.
And that was to help with their children to understand more of English in any way possible. Because even though we're not sometimes educated, we still have daily things we do that help. That would help, that are just normal, that come normal to us.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't be ashamed of this or shy of telling these things to correct them, because we're humans, we make mistakes, but also we know what we do.
Sure.
We have the intention of always doing great things.
Oh, yeah.
But yes.
Yeah. So do you remember the places you've been to in Nepal? Which place is the best for you? Which one you like
so
the
in
most?
Kathmandu, I would say Swayambhu.
Swayambhu. You like Swayambhu?
The temple there with the monkey temple.
Monkey temple. Okay.
I fell in love with the monkeys. Let me say, that's where I found my peaceful place when I wasn't working at the school. Even though I loved it, I loved the smiles on the face of the kids when I would say Nepali words like Suna or Basnu, or I would sing the anthem. These are all very catchy phrases, and like pani pani kusi kusi. Like I get used to these things. I listen, and I like joking around. Amahui, like I pick up slang.
Okay.
And I like this because it gives humor and happiness to the students. And they have questions, I answer. Ask and you shall receive.
Okay.
So I have done so. And it grew into something, just more. And I would go to Swayambhu for a different kind of peaceful zone. Okay. And especially because it's very holy in a sense.
Sure.
There's a lot of, as you can maybe bring back my memory towards it, but there's these things you would go through and you would turn. You just
we call it mane. I don't know how they call it in English, but in Nepali it's called mane.
Okay, I always, every single time I got the chance, I would look, at the script, like this, the Hindi, like Hindi and Nepali Sanskrit.
Okay, Sanskrit.
I like to say, I'm not going to say it's whose or whose, because I think it's
Sanskrit. Yeah,
it's Sanskrit. That's what it is, and picked up their own versions of it over time.
Yeah.
But I felt it very connective towards me, and I wanted to do the effort, and I definitely was observative of this with the mantras, as you would say, right? Mantras?
Mantras, yeah.
And I would go through it up there in Swayambhu, and I started observing the monkeys, and sometimes people would want to get pictures with them, and they'd say, watch out doing that, because, sometimes they're very like sneaky, and they'll steal your stuff, or they'll be violent sometimes if you're in their space, right?
Yeah.
So I'd be respective, but one time, for an experience, somebody said, get close, I'll get a photo. And I was like kind of creeping in, and monkey goes like, it does a little bit of a hissing, right? It was a warning. So I said, oh, better stick back. But I thought it would, a warning, funny, learning. But I still found it interesting. I said, interesting. But then I was also looking, like I brought my camera. I was a bit of a photographer myself, and I was intrigued, and I wanted to bring pieces of memory back home. So I would take photos, and the top photos I would always take is in Swayambhus of the monkeys. Yeah. I would observe their behaviors. Like I'd see them as very similar to humans.
Oh yeah.
Even though maybe things we don't do anymore, but maybe we should be still doing.
Oh yeah.
Like one is like maybe stuff in your head like bugs or lice or parasites. They would just scour. They would take their time in the day and they'd go through everything and make sure those little parasites wouldn't be bothering you in the day, or because it probably does bother them. Like they bother us too. But
I'm sure they do. Yeah. And I will, like, let's say you said you like Swayambhu. Like after Kathmandu, where you went? Like which city was it? The next?
So after that, I started hearing about Pokhara. And I was introduced again by Lashmi, some friends and family members she has over in Pokhara. So I got to meet a friend named Bikal and Anish and Najir. Okay. And they were very, very helpful. And pardon me, but Najir had a brother by the name, they would say Milo. So I'd call him Milo, which is like middle brother.
True.
In a sense, which is interesting because I'm actually also a middle child myself.
Okay.
So Milo
you are
pertained.
Milo too then.
And talking of which just came up, I thought I should mention, I wanted to bring pieces back home to bring people interest into Nepal. And I would bring like these little tutus, as we would call them, but they're like dolls or whatever, but they were made through like animals. Okay. And I was giving them names. So every time I'd go do a visit for my godson, I would bring back one of those, but I would call it a name. So the first time that I would bring an elephant, and I named it Kusi.
Kushi.
I would name it after happiness.
Okay.
And then the second one, I named it Milo
Milo. Okay.
for the middle one.
Okay.
And it was this one was a rhino, but then I also had a giraffe afterwards, and I called it Miley.
Miley. Okay.
So like give it opposition, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I would do these creative little things, and I would go back home to my godson. I'd say, "Here is this for you, all the way from this country," and I would say, "This is Milo. This is Miley. This is Kusi," you know.
Yeah.
And I'd give him accustomed to the nature of Nepal.
Okay. Okay. Now I'll bring you back to the village where you stayed. Like you said, it was Dhulikhel.
Dhulikhel, yeah.
That was the first village you stayed in Nepal.
And more specifically, Simple Curry.
Sibaguri.
Simple Curry.
Simbagari.
Simple Curry.
Okay. Maybe
That's okay.
Never.
Maybe
mind.
even I don't even have the right pronunciation, but I remember this because I like curry, and it
Okay.
says curry, and it's simple.
Okay. No, I don't know much about Dhulikhel. Maybe
That's
there
okay.
are many villages in there.
It's known to be the village of the tiger
Village of the tiger. Okay.
because there's lots of that roam around inside there.
The tigers?
Yeah.
Did you see one there?
I did not see one, but I had many times told me when I was traveling at night, they said, "Do not do that. It is very risky."
It's
And-
maybe a leopard, not the tiger.
Could be, yeah.
Leopard. Yeah.
Could be.
Because tiger usually they don't stay in the mountain. That might be a leopard.
It could be.
Tigers you might get in Chitwan, like in the southern part of Nepal.
Okay.
So that guy place, there is a lot of tigers.
Maybe the viewers will be able
Oh
to.
yeah, maybe. So if I had to ask you, Jordan, first of all, thank you very much from we all Nepali for what you are doing in Nepal, especially being from Canada, traveling so far to Nepal and trying to put your effort in helping the kids who need the education,
Sahayog.
the people who need the help. Thank you very much for that from all of us. And
Swagatam.
Swagatam, thank you. I am, and before you mentioned, like you can speak, you can sing our national anthem too.
That's it.
Can you sing like full of it or
Ali Ali, half.
half? Do you want to
But-
try that now?
Yeah, it's been so long, but I will do it again.
Let's try it.
So, Soya tunga kami yote mala Nepali. Sarba bumbai foilieka mechi magale. Pritikita koti koti sambaga ko achala. Riharu kara kara. Nema nema Nepala.
That's
And
good enough.
that is
Yeah.
portion.
Thank you. This is a new anthem we have. Even I don't know full, but if I sing together, I can.
Of
Thank
course.
you for that. So I hope,
Together stronger.
yeah, this anthem, learning this can tell people like how much you are in love with Nepal. This is the love it shows itself in the anthem. Thank you for that.
Maya Garchu.
Maya Garchu, how much do you think you love Nepal?
Ekdam.
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 I will ask you a very tricky question. I should not be asking. You know what? I will not ask it.
Hey, if
it
you
sounds
know,
stupid
it's
to
okay.
people. If you had to choose Canada or Nepal, which one would you choose?
That is a very difficult. You have every reason to ask it. I will tell you the truth though. At first, because I think everybody senses this, where they're from, it becomes boring after a certain amount of time.
Okay.
So because I was so accustomed and so I felt like entrapped in my own world of this Canadian custom, I wanted something new.
Okay.
Just like everybody else does, especially if they're not doing good.
Okay.
I was thriving for something better, but also seeing something new as new beauty in a sense, even though my country has a lot of beauty in the Rockies out west, as well as even just in the east.
Yeah.
Or even just here in Ontario with all our skyscrapers, as people thinks it's not maybe sometimes so beautiful. We still have much nature with lakes, right? And lots of fishing. There's tons of activities, right? We just have to look around. But so I want to say both now at this time, but at the time I was finding Nepal very strikingly beautiful and more attractive. And I geared me to want to stay there a lot longer.
If you get a chance to be a Nepali citizen, would you?
Absolutely. In a heartbeat. I would have already done it if it was possible.
But remember, if once you are Nepali citizen,
You have to
give up your Canadian citizenship.
And that was something I only held against myself for the sake of my family.
Okay.
Because I do have tattooed on me family. And I wouldn't want to make it difficult for me to get back to my family. but I was still very intrigued at that option.
Okay.
But I'm hearing actually, and people, the viewers might find this interesting to know, because I did some research, and they're making it possible next year to have a nomad visa. And in this nomad visa, you can have a total stay of about 5 years, multiple entry, and you can own some Nepali property. But I find that part debatable, because I feel like if that happens, it might really skyrocket the price of property in Nepal.
It does.
And that will damage, I think, Nepalese people even more.
Yeah.
And it might, like, I feel, and I think the rest of the world felt for a while now, even in America, they're becoming very negative towards people in other countries owning property in their homeland. But what people have to remember is Earth is our home.
Oh, yeah.
We have a home everywhere, and that's within us, within people, and within how people invite each other. So technically, you don't have to buy the land. You make it the connection through people. And that is very important to know, because everywhere I went, it was the people that were giving me a place to stay. It was the people that were giving me the experience. It wasn't the government. They, sure enough, they gave me permission, but I always had permission. Everybody always has permission.
So the people are the one who take you in.
Absolutely. It's the people. As Prithvi Nananya would say, it is the people.
Yeah, true. I agree with you in that. And if I had to ask you, if you have to choose one thing about Nepal which you like the most, what would it be? Only one thing.
The people.
People.
The people.
Okay. Do you remember?
They have given me so much.
Yeah.
But I have also returned as much.
As much. You doing your part. You doing it as much as you can, and the effort you're putting is.
And I'm a poor man. I'm not any way wealthy at all. Like, sure, you see this, but I've earned this over time. And it's in small amounts, right? Yeah. But this is not. I don't pertain this as like something of bling or wealth, as maybe people think of the gods or like the pharaohs would do. That's not at all. I don't see that as perceived as such. I think it's more than that. Like, this, we have to realize is silver, and we have to realize it's gold. It has a currency, not a currency of wealth, but a currency of protection, a currency of light, more importantly.
Yeah.
And within us is light.
Yeah.
So with me, I'm carrying extra light in a sense. Okay. And it's a defensive, protective measure. I think the pharaohs and all that would use. You know, they're all about protection. They're all about God. They're all about within, right? Yeah. So this is what it is. This is light. Yeah. I'm carrying light with me.
Yeah, but in Nepal, once they see a white man or a tourist from other country, they think everybody is rich. They have a lot of money. Yeah. Do you have any experience related to that? Absolutely. People would always think like, oh, look at this rich man foreigner that is coming here, and he spent thousands of dollars to get on a plane. But I was a simple dishwasher. I said to myself, how can I lower my cost? But also, how can I work so hard and save up so much and buy so much less to be able to afford a flight? And it became possible, because if you have a drive, you have a passion, you can then use that to do whatever you can to make it happen. Yeah, true. And that's why you have to act through love. And that's what I did. Every time I worked, sure enough, maybe I didn't like it, but like everybody does when they leave their country to bring back money for their home or their family, it's because the passion they have for their family. Sure. And I think that's what's happening, and the government is using that as a power for themselves. Yeah. So you being in Nepal so many times and knowing people, especially from the villages more, what do you think as a Canadian? As a Canadian, what would be the suggestion? What things of Canadian and Nepali people? Nepali people, being a Canadian. Okay, how you look at it? Being a Canadian going into Nepal, how Nepal people are okay. So you're looking for experience on what I thought, how their mindset was in Nepal. No, what I mean is, what do you think Nepal should change to be better in future? Okay, perfect question. I actually had this question many times as I was doing motivational speeches last year in 8+ different schools in Japa. Okay. So a lot of the time I would try to encourage support with people around you, your community rather than corporations, you know, small businesses rather than corporations, as you can put it. Because also it's not, the corporations are already good. We don't need to keep supporting them. Plus, we don't even know where that goes half the time. And they're actually stealing support from small businesses. And this is what I liked actually about Nepal.
at the at every major city, or even at the side of the road of every village, they would have a house, but with a shop underneath.
Yeah.
And that's why I think a lot of the time when people from India and Nepal come to Canada, they run a corner store or they're running something, right?
Yeah.
With their home. And we perceive it as Canadians as something different. And then we take it in the wrong way, which is, I think, just because they're looking at it in a different way, it can blind them thinking as division that the government is creating. But it is not that. It's just they do not have the proper understanding. Ma buju. I understand this. I've seen this going from country to country, and I realized that this was something Nepali people were doing so they can just make a living for their family.
True. Yeah.
And they were trying to support, and it's something they're still doing coming into this country.
Yeah.
Which I support. We should support each other no matter where we are as a small business.
True.
And this is what I'm doing. This is what I have been doing.
Okay.
And I like doing this, especially with EPSA, especially with Lashmi and her business now at the Himalayan Cafe in North Bay, which is a little bit of a plug-in.
Okay.
I would like to see more people going to these businesses, and as well as Canadian businesses. Even Canadian businesses that don't even have a place, because sometimes it is very costly to have a business and a building, but you don't have to have a building to make a business.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be successful to have a building.
Yeah.
I've made that clear, especially with the record of helping all these children.
Okay.
And there's never been a business for them to go to.
Sure.
But I've managed to happen, right?
Okay. So now you're going to Nepal again on November. Now we are in September, not even September. We are
Almost
in August.
September.
Almost September there. So what are you trying to do this time, and how long you will be staying there?
So this time, I went from 300 bracelets to going to 600 keychains with Bibek from Dulikil, and that did massive change. I was able to help actually 5 children, and I was helping those 3 children in Jumla. I wanted to visit them, didn't not get the chance, but I trusted Kantika Sejual. And then I helped a girl by the name of Soni Gurung in Gorkha. And she had, her family has lots of difficulties. And it was very hardships. And I was there to listen. And every single time I went, even though they don't have communication, I happen to have very good photographic memory and good friends enough to help me, like Susil Pant with his family that lives in Gorkha.
Okay.
And they were massive help. They gave me guidance to a church there as well. Maybe I can tell a bit about that story later, which is another one of itself, but a bit of a miracle actually. Okay. But I went to this family and met Soni, and she needed help. She still needs help to this day, and I'm still continuing to help, but her English reading has become phenomenal. Okay. She has a bit of shyness that stops her from performing the words out of her mouth, but she's able to read it clearly, as I could see as day. Okay. And she's doing very good improvement. I'm still continuing with that progress, and I will hope to go back and spend more time with them, because they were very disappointed when COVID happened and I could not visit them. Okay. They were wondering, where is our poor Jordan? He has not come. And I had no means of bringing them money to help them in that cause for her future and their future. Okay. But I went there recently last year, visited them again, and honestly, it brought tears to my eyes and tears to their eyes. And when I got there, I exactly knew the house. I looked at the house. I said, yes, this is it. I stepped in the yard. I looked to my left, and there was Soni Gurung on the swinging. I said, this is her. This has to be her. And then I went to Susil Pant's son, who was then bringing forward the family, the grandparents that were still there. And they looked at me like in shock. They said, oh my God, he's back, type of thing. And I was just so glad to see them. I comforted them as much as I could for the time I had there. And it was coming short because at the time I had only a month last year. Okay. I stayed there for a month, and I have many friends everywhere throughout Nepal. So I had to divide by week, and I had to spend time with my family, Bibek, Bolaki, the Bolaki family. Okay. This is the crescent I'm holding, because they have anchored me to this country so much, and their kindness. And I feel like they really need to be known, because they're an amazing family. Okay.
So how many children are you helping at the moment?
So education-wise, I would say 5.
5 right now.
Yes.
And what are your plans to increase the numbers?
Yes, I plan on increasing the numbers to. My thoughts were 6, but now it's, I think, coming to a point where I can do more.
Okay.
because I've expanded from at one point 3 businesses to 5, and that's when I was doing 5 children.
Okay.
And then also by changing from Kathmandu schools that were more expensive to less expensive rural village schools of like $400 a year Canadian, I was able to like think about like that's just grocery money.
Yeah.
Like we spend $400 on groceries every week, every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I was like, why is no one doing anything about this? I was like, so I put it into gear, and then I also, with the help of everyone, this is not just me. When I say sure, I'm doing some actions, but I hope it inspires others to do the same, and people are doing the same, and I'm very proud of them, and I'm happy. Like my friend Jeremy that is here supporting me, that drove me here, he's an amazing person, and he's done the same. He has still, I think, there's still one of the bracelets on his dirt bike.
Okay.
And from early adopters, like there's still many early adopters in North Bay that hold dearly to this product, and many businesses still that hold dearly to supporting the cause.
Okay. So now you are supporting 5 children all by yourself. Do you
Not by myself.
I mean, like doing the activities, the keychains and all those things.
And then
are you getting any support from any other community? I mean, like Nepali community or any other organizations in Nepal?
Right now, yes. In the past, difficult, but still kind of being done. Like Lashmi, yes.
Okay.
So some Nepalese people were.
Okay.
Like especially Lashmi. She was there since the start. She's been very helpful and very giving, and also very guiding. And I actually I like to call her the Lashmi God, to be honest.
Yeah.
She has been very giving and very helpful, and I have many things to thank for her about this.
Okay. So just to get an idea, how much do we need in average to help a kid study one whole year? In average, some places might be a little expensive, some might be a little cheaper.
In rural areas, it used to be around $300.
Okay.
But because prices have gone up, and I've seen also, as the time I was teaching volunteer over there, teachers were getting fed up of how much they're being paid, and then the economy getting bad in calculation. When I went back, they rose it to about $400, $450, sometimes $500.
So more or less in $500, one child can study for a year.
Correct.
And did you approach any people or any person about sponsoring one kid by themselves?
I have
approached that.
But some people would just say, I'll do it, but give me some time.
Okay.
And then I never heard back from them.
Okay. And you are getting in touch with Nepali community, so we will try to see how the Nepali community can help you. I will definitely put my words to everyone I know, all the organizations I know, and I'm sure they will come up with something. So at the moment, we don't have a concrete idea what we are going to do, but I'm sure we'll come with some solution, some kind of things from the
God will guide the way.
Oh yeah, the Nepali community.
Godspeed.
If a Canadian guy born in North Bay can go to Nepal and help a Nepali kid, why not the Nepali people who were born in Nepal can help their own kids?
Absolutely. While they're here, yeah.
Yeah, and at the same time, I would like to request all my Nepali people, if there is anything we could help to the kids in Nepal who needs the education or whatever it is for their upbringing or for their good future, let's do it together. We will post the more information about the organization, more about Jordan, and more about what he does. It might not be enough time for us today, but we will definitely do in a few episodes, or we'll do a few videos, and we'll try to get all the information to everyone as much as we can. So let's hope for the better, Jordan. So these are the social work you're doing there. I will ask you a question. Why?
Why I've done this?
Yes.
Because me, myself, and my upbringing, I was also told by others that it's very important to keep my French francophone. À cause je parle français aussi. Comme on peut voir, il y a beaucoup de personnes en Ontario qui peuvent parler le français. Mais des fois, on oublie qu'est-ce qu'on dit, qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire, mais ça prend du temps des fois à comprendre. It takes time to understand. It takes time to, and people get shy, they lose it over time. On parle le langage des fois. It becomes difficult. For some reason we lose, and I feel like this is part of Canadian culture because we're very bilingual, known to be bilingual, and we took in a lot of people from France, and it's kind of merged into our own little language, kind of like how Hindi, like Sanskrit, moves around like it does with between Nepal and India. You know, it's like a flow that is magical that just needs that extra little boost to then know all of it. But I'd say, yeah, the language is very important, and it became something I developed as I traveled. I knew it was a useful thing to know that would get me forward, and here I am today. And I'm probably bringing more understanding. You know, I know you have Nepali viewers, you have English viewers, and most likely some French viewers.
Okay.
So by speaking French, by speaking Nepalese, by speaking English, it makes me trilingual.
Okay.
And I like to be trilingual. I would love to be trilingual. Maybe some people say I am, but I'm not totally fluent Nepali yet. I don't claim to know everything.
Maybe this time when you live for 5 months, you will be. Hopefully,
Yeah,
we'll
absolutely.
see. So you'll learn more words,
Absolutely.
more sentences. So when you come back, I will meet you again, and we'll see how far you went. Just a question. I just wanted to know how it feels to help a guy. He was 7 years. You say
8 years old.
He was 8 years old, and to see him grow, 17 years old now.
It's like having your own kid, watching him grow to be something amazing. That's what you want to see in people, because technically we're all brothers and sisters. Like the Nepali culture says, you know, we don't say friend. Sometimes we do, but mostly if you really care for someone, you call them family. You call them, you know, pariwar. You call them bai, dai, didi, waini. You know, we use these terms a lot, right? Which is very important because, and I love that about Nepal. Actually, we don't do that here. Maybe sometimes in like the hood, as they would say brother, or like just jokingly like, hey brother, what's up, you know. But
there is no word cousin in Nepal. Have you noticed that? It's all brothers.
Yeah, exactly, because we're family.
It is.
We're close family.
True.
And that's the connection I actually love in Nepal as well, part of loving people.
Yeah.
But yes, you wanted to go into experience of.
So I would like to hear your experience in a short form. How do you feel like? What was the experience in your, let's say, Gorkha? Let's talk about that.
So some of the time I would go during Dase, and it's very celebrative, but also very giving. You know, like sometimes they would, you know, do the tika, they would do the money exchange. They would have a plate full of veggies or all kinds of stuff, right? And then also at night or close to supper, you would then cut the head off the goat for having goat, mutton.
Mutton, yeah.
And I enjoyed mutton. It was actually very amazing to have, especially in the jungle. In Gorkha. Dumre Bridge is where it's near. I'm not going to say exactly the city. I will maybe link that later on in life, but towards that region of Gorkha. And the family, like I said, Susil Pant and Sangeeta Pant's family, amazing people. And you know what? This is maybe even a plug-in for them in the future because they deserve it. It would be an amazing place for any person in this country to go to that was looking for a place to call home without fear. Because the media is very keen on delivering fear, but they must not fear. There is great people in villages all over Nepal. And just for an experience as we're going into, to really give you an idea, when I first went into Gorkha, it wasn't like my experience in Kathmandu, even though as good as it was even better. And the reason why is because they're even still welcoming in the jungle. They were very, you know, I guess, natural with their homes, like every other place, though more concrete now too, but they used to have mud houses. And I was fine with this. Like I've done camping before here in my own culture, so it's very normal. I didn't mind it at all. And I got to know them very well. We sat around fires a lot. We cooked, we talked. Like even if it was just like we didn't understand each other, we had words we'd say, and we'd get along great, even with just a smile. Like we can't make it awkward. Like the only way it makes it awkward is if you're like sitting there like this with a flat face, because they can see discomfort. Now they're worried all of a sudden about what are they doing to the tourist.
True.
And it makes them worried. But if you give a smile, then they know you're content. But there's no reason to be uncontent.
Now you remind me something. Like sometimes people ask me, like when I say that I'm from Nepal, sometimes people ask me about, is it safe to travel there? That's a very frequent question I get,
Mm.
and my only answer is like I always tell them like our police doesn't carry a gun. You say how safe it is or not. You just evaluate yourself.
Yeah.
So that I think that word itself can define our policemen. They don't carry the guns.
Yeah.
So in my entire life, I haven't seen a gun in front of, even until now.
Uh-huh.
I haven't seen a gun which is a real gun, or I haven't touched it in my life. I'm almost 40 now.
The only time I seen a gun is when the prime minister came into a wedding I was at.
Oh yeah. Who was the prime minister? Who the guy was?
Suba
Sir Bahadur?
Sarbadubu, yeah.
Sir Bahadur Dawa.
Daba,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. He is a leader of the opposition. Not though. Now his party is in the government as well, which I'm not very big fan of.
But we'll
but-
leave it at that because we
Yeah.
won't get into politics.
Oh yeah.
Can be iffy, a big conversation there.
Oh yeah. Politics can go long.
Yes, but we'll go back into the experience. So this is a very important story I want to get into. Sorry if
Okay.
I'm
Oh
interrupting.
yeah. No. Go ahead.
Maf Pao.
Uh-huh.
But I really enjoyed how inclusive they were, like in such a way, like I was describing, getting together moments. Because we used to have those way back in our families when back in the day here in Canada. And I feel like that was part of the culture, just being connected. It's the same culture. Everybody can relate everywhere.
Mhm.
We'd sit around a fire and enjoy time. But that's what happened. And then they brought me to a church. So this is going to come up to a miracle point.
Mhm.
I had training.
Where was it?
This was in Gorka,
Gorka. Okay.
village in Gorka. I won't say anywhere of the place yet.
Okay.
If people want to ask in the comments, maybe I'll be discriminate. Like I will let them know
Mhm.
if I feel comfortable.
Mhm.
And if they want to sign up, maybe even with some tourist agencies, because I know these places very well.
Okay.
With Gorka International Travels
Okay.
by Susil Pont,
Mhm.
he would be more than happy to help. He knows all about it, and that's his. He's really good at it, so I'll let him at it.
Okay.
And I'm the plug-in for it, I guess. But
Okay.
also, what happened was we went to church, and I wasn't very. I fell away from God at a certain point in my life, but I still felt like there was something there.
Mhm.
But also, when I was at work, I was learning things, didn't understand why I was learning them, but it came into play in real life because I was in a. It was very hot this day in Gorka, like a heat wave, and we go into this church to take shelter
Mhm.
and get some cooling. And also the preacher wanted me to go up front and just say about myself because they're very curious people.
Mhm.
I love curiosity as well. There's nothing wrong with it. But he wanted to hear about it. So I gave them the lowdown and I sat back in the room
Mhm.
and started observing them, their language and everything. But then I noticed this girl that came in and she seemed a bit off. I could see it in her face.
Mhm.
But also when she went to go sit down with everyone, people were like looking away from her, not really associating with her. She fell off into her own world. But I seen she was kind of getting like this drowsy feeling in her, and she was starting to like feel nappy.
Okay.
So she started like, I felt like unwillingly going to bed. Like it's not normal for somebody to just go to bed in Nepali culture at a church.
Yeah.
Maybe for a kid, but for a kid at that age, I thought it to be very odd.
Mhm.
So I seen her go into like a sleep mode. I was like, that's not normal. I should go check up with her parent beside her. I went to her parent. I said, can you please check up on your kid? I'm a little worried. And she said, And she looked over and she was shaking her kid and she wasn't waking.
Mhm.
She was having trouble waking. That is not very normal at all.
Mhm.
So I said, lift her up, give her some support, and keep calling her name.
Mhm.
So eventually she opened up her eyes a little bit and I started directing the people inside the church. I said, go get some water, preferably cold water. Go get anything you can do to fan,
Uh-huh.
because I knew it probably wasn't available for a fan to plug in or anywhere.
Uh-huh.
I said, just get anything. Start fanning her.
Mhm.
Start just dropping water on her.
Uh-huh.
Like give her a bit of life, a bit of light, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like show her that she's going to come back from it. Like keep her awake, more importantly, because
Mhm.
I was seeing signs of a heat stroke. And this has happened many times in my life now, where it's become almost like a superpower
Mhm.
by just having observation. And that saved her because everybody was so shocked and so like they didn't know what to do. They were in shock. They were all standing there. And I'm just like, you get water, you get a fan, you get this, that. And all of a sudden she started coming back to life. She became more attentive and more actionable, but she still couldn't stand on her own feet. So I said, well, now get her on a bike, because we're in the jungle. Let's be honest, there was no road.
Okay.
And the road was bumpy. And I said, well, just get her on the bike. The bumpiness will keep her up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I said, just keep her on the bike, hold her on the bike, somebody in driving and somebody in the back holding her. And I ran with the bike as they were going, because it's bumpy. It's going to take a while. But I said, at least she doesn't take a while. I mean, I would have, maybe I would have had to carry her if it was possible. I would have.
Yeah.
But I said, no, that should be faster. Get it done. And then we get to the end of a more bigger road, and they're like, let's get her in the car. And I'm like, it's a hot day. We all know what a car can turn into in a hot day. So I put my arm in there, and I feel immediate, just humidity, heat. I'm like, this is going to kill her. I was like, do not put her in that car. I said, keep her on that bike and keep going to the pharmacy. Whatever pharmacy you can find in this village now that we're at, that took about 15 minutes.
That was in Gorkha as well.
Yeah. And then she went to the pharmacy. She made it to the pharmacy, still somewhat awake.
Okay.
And then 30 minutes later, they gave her electrolytes, which is light. And they gave her all these things to bring her energy back up. And then she was fine. She was good to go. She was up again, functioning. And the doctor said to me, yeah, you saved her from a heat stroke. She was having also health issues. That wasn't very supportive either. So she most likely would have died that day.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you saved someone by your notice. You noticed someone was not doing very normal activities. So, yeah, that helped.
And I was in the back.
God.
It helped. I was in the back observing.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. And now we are almost at the end of the show, Jordan, because of the timing we're going through. I'll get a few answers from you. Answer in a sense, I would like to know a few things from you about the country you love so much. What is a thing comes in your mind when I say Nepal? In a very short word thing.
Nepal. Well, the color red for love.
Red.
Yeah.
Okay. What comes in your mind when I say the people Nepali?
Nepalese people? Amazing.
Okay.
I think that's why they won the war.
The Gurkhas.
Yeah.
Today we're not talking about the war, so Gurkhas, most of the people know about Gurkhas, so we'll talk this in other episode. And what comes in your mind if I say social service or community support, community service?
Sahayuk. Helpful. Help.
What comes in your mind if I say Dulikel?
Passion. Loving.
Gorkha.
Beautiful.
Jhapa.
Naturistic.
Okay. So yeah, we thank you. I was just trying to know your mind, what you think about the places you are helping people there. We'll again I think we will need to get to.
Is it okay if I plug in the name for my company for everyone?
Oh yeah, of course. I think we haven't talked about your organization. We will talk about your website. We have to talk about your organization in a very short form, and you wanna say your word. What you want? Yeah.
So go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead and do it.
Has.
Okay.
So my organization, like I said, I talked to you guys about, started with bracelets, and they went into keychains, and the keychains are meant to represent as a cartoon figure of the child I am helping, but also that child plays a role as that figure to then help other children. And I want to continue that. I want to make multiple versions. I don't want to exclude anyone, but it also comes with permission. When I go there and I ask these families and I'm providing the help, I ask of one thing, and that is to have them represent. And a lot of them will be really cool with it. They'll be happy, to be a representative figure or a popular figure. And I think that's what needs to be out of popularity is representation. A sort of angelic safeguard in a sense. But I want people to know they can develop these companies themselves. I did not have any help from anyone at the beginning. Eventually, people added and bought the product, and I find them as part of the business. I find them part of the company. I find them as workers, even though they didn't get paid, they voluntarily did it.
Yeah.
And they're very helpful, like especially like businesses like yourself with podcasts, whatever version it is, I find it very helpful. And I'm very thankful, and I'm very thankful to God about it. But my company name is called Trovion, and I want to go into the naming of it, why I named it Trovion. And I named it Trovion because the TR would stand for travel, and then the O would stand for opportunities.
Okay.
And the Vion at the end is like a mix between English and French for airplane.
Okay.
Because you'd say in French as for a plane, avion.
Avion.
So Vion at the end. I'd put, and then so you'll see in my logo, you'd see a world, a new world of opportunities, as well as the motto would be a new world of opportunities at the bottom with the world. And then at the end of the Vion, at the end, the N, it would show an airplane flying up because it represents me, but also others traveling the world to help others and provide opportunities.
I think that's a good name and for a good cause. So I think we are almost at the end for today. We will do more videos and all, of course, about the organization, and we will also try to get the keychain and everything. I will also this to my viewers. And today we're going to different places to talk to the local businesses, especially the Nepali businesses, and we hope to get a big support from them as well. We will see. We'll make another video again what help we got from the community ourselves. So saying this, thank you very much for coming to the show.
You're very welcome.
Jordan. It's a pleasure having you here today.
Thank
so
you.
If there is anything you can send a message in Nepal or here for the Nepali community in a very short, the camera is all yours. And then we will end the show today.
Okay. I just want you guys to know to keep hope. So I want to say, Jyoti Samran Shakti, which is light, remembrance, and protection.
Okay.
So I want you to put this in your vocabulary, whether in Nepalese or English. I guess the English version would be light remembers us. That's another way. But us at the end would represent protection in a sense because we're protecting all of each other. But I'll leave it with those words because I hold dearly to those words. It's where I am thankful where I am today with those words because I'm able to remember a lot more than what I could not too long ago.
Thank you, Jordan, for that. And saying this, we will end the show today. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching this. Have a good day.